Morning, students. Now let us start with your next poem. The name of the next poem is A Prayer for My Daughter by W.B. Yeats. Now, something about the poet first. Here are some of the photographs of the poet, who was an Irish man. He was from Ireland. Now, let us read something about the poet from your textbook only, page number 74. This poet was born in 1865 and he died in 1939. So let me read out from your textbook only. W.B. Yeats, William Butler Yeats, was born in Dublin on 13th June 1865. He received his formal education in London. Now, before we read further, something to be kept in mind is that Ireland for a long time was under the British domination, and Ireland was fighting its war of independence from British domination. Ireland became free in 1922 only, and Yeats was a great supporter of this Irish struggle for independence from the British rule. Okay? So he was a great supporter of Irish nationalism. Many of his poems are about the Irish problem and the struggle of Ireland for liberation from English rule. So many of his poems are about that only. Yeats played a key role in the Irish literary revival, founded the Irish National Theatre, and also served as senator of the Irish Free State from 1922 to 1928. So another thing to keep in mind is that he also was responsible for the Irish literary revival, the revival of literature in Ireland. He was the key figure. He played a prominent role in this revival of literature in Ireland, and he also founded the Irish National Theatre. And after Ireland got freedom in 1922, he also served as senator of the Irish Free State from 1922 to 1928. Another thing to keep in mind about him is that he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923. He died on 28th January 1939 in France. Okay, so I hope you have some idea about the poet now. Now we'll start with A Prayer for My Daughter. Again, first let us read the introduction from your textbook only, the introduction to this poem, and this will make it clearer. Now let us start. In the poem A Prayer for My Daughter, Yeats prays for the well-being and happiness of his infant daughter. Infant is a very small baby. This poem was written shortly after the birth of his daughter. The name of the daughter was Anne, and against the background of turmoil and civil disorder in Ireland, Yeats approves the virtues of traditional aristocratic life, courtesy, ceremony, custom, and kindness. So, this poem was written against the background of turmoil, the background of disturbance, and the civil disorder. Civil disorder means the disorder that is there within the country. Okay, so the civil disorder in Ireland, and this poem was written against the background of that great disturbance, that great turmoil that was there in Ireland at that time, because it was fighting for its freedom, it was fighting for its independence. Okay? So this poem was written against the background of that turmoil in Ireland. Yeats approves the virtues of traditional aristocratic life. So here we'll come to know that he is in favor of the traditional life. Traditional life simply means a life rooted in culture where certain traditions are followed. जिथे कि कई रिवाज फॉलो किए जाते, ट्रडिशनस रवायतां फॉलो कीतियां जांदियां, ट्रडिशनल लाइफ दियां, जिथे कि कल्चर ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਕਲਚਰ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਫੈਮਲੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ the families that are deeply rooted in culture and tradition of a country. So he approved the virtues of traditional aristocratic life. So aristocratic life, aristocrats are the people of you may say the noble families. So he was in favor of that kind of life, where there is where the families have courtesy, ceremony, custom and kindness. He cautions his daughter against harboring intellectual hatred. So ਅਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ then you will understand ਕਿ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕਾਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਬਹੁਤ worried ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ the daughter should not harbor any kind of hatred, and least of all the intellectual hatred. Okay? The poet brings out the pitfalls of an opinionated mind and wishes that his daughter keeps her innocence intact. Okay? So opinionated mind ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ? A mind, a person who has fixed opinions, okay? Who thinks that he or she is right all the time. Okay? So Yeats does not want his daughter to have an opinionated mind at all. Okay? He wants his daughter to have kindness in abundance, and he wants his daughter to be married into a family that has adherence to traditions, that is deeply rooted in culture. Okay, so ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ poem ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ and you will understand it. It's a very beautiful poem. So now let us start with it. A prayer for my daughter. So just imagine that the daughter is very small, a small baby, okay, and this poem was written shortly after her birth. देखो इन्हों हुन. Once more the storm is howling, and half hid under this cradle hood and coverlid my child sleeps on. Okay, so it is the time of night and a storm is howling. Okay, there is the storm is creating a lot of noise. बहुत ज़्यादा आवाज़ आ रही है, तूफान आया हुआ है. Okay? Once more the storm is howling, and half hid under this cradle hood and coverlet my child sleeps on. Okay? So तूफान आया हुआ है और ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ cradle ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਲਨੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਰਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਸੁੱਤਾ ਪਿਆ ਹੈ. My child sleeps on. There is no obstacle but Gregory's wood and one bare hill, whereby the haystack and roof leveling wind bred on the Atlantic can be stayed. Okay, so he is very much conscious of this storm, okay, that may raise to the ground the haystacks and even the roofs of the houses. Okay? It's a very fierce storm, and he is very much you may say he is very much apprehensive that this storm may raise to the ground everything, because it is a very strong kind of a storm, a very fierce kind of a storm. There is no obstacle but Gregory's wood and one bare hill, whereby the haystack and roof leveling wind bred on the Atlantic can be stayed. So he knows that this storm has been born on the Atlantic Sea. Atlantic Sea ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਇਸ ਤੂਫਾਨ ਦਾ ਜਨਮ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ, and it's a very fierce storm, and he knows that only Gregory's wood and one bare hill may save the town from destruction. Otherwise the storm is very destructive. The only obstacles that may save the town or that may save his house are Gregory's wood. So Gregory simply means Lady Gregory. So ਇੱਕ ਵੁੱਡਸ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਲੇਡੀ ਗ੍ਰੈਗਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਬਿਲੋਂਗ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਹੈ। ਕਾਫੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਦਰਖਤ ਹੈਗੇ ਹੈ ਕਲੀਅਰ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਔਰ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਪਹਾੜੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਵਿੰਡਸ ਤੋਂ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਟੋਮੀ ਵਿੰਡਸ ਤੋਂ ਯੇਟਸ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਅਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਕਲੀਅਰ। ਨਾਓ Gregory's wood. Now here he is referring to the Lady Gregory. So the Lady Gregory was an aristocratic woman. She belonged to a noble family, okay, where traditions were followed. Okay, and Yeats was a great admirer of this lady. Okay, so ਹੁਣ ਸਿਰਫ ਤੂਫਾਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ only Gregory's woods are there. It simply means the values that Lady Gregory symbolized. Those values are tradition, kindness, culture. So only those values can save the house of the Yeats and also the rest of the civilization. And so there is no other obstacle between the storm and his house and the rest of the town. देखो इन्हों once more the storm is howling, and half hid under this cradle hood and coverlid my child sleeps on. There is no obstacle but means except Gregory's wood and one bare hill, whereby the haystack and roof leveling wind bred on the Atlantic can be stayed. Okay, so there are only two obstacles. So what he means to say is that only the values that are symbolized by Lady Gregory can save the civilization from becoming extinct. And for an hour I have walked and prayed because of the great gloom that is in my mind. And for an hour he has been walking about and he has been praying because of the deep sadness that is there in his mind. Okay, so he is not at peace. So he is walking around and he is praying and praying. Okay, because he is worried about the condition of the country and also the condition of the entire Europe, you may say, after the First World War. So, so he is not at peace. Next, dekho, I have walked and prayed for this young child an hour. Yes, so for this young child, I have walked and prayed for my child for an hour or so, and heard the sea wind scream upon the tower and under the arches of the bridge, and scream in the elms above the flooded stream. Imagining in excited reverie that the future years had come, dancing to a frenzied drum out of the murderous innocence of the sea. Okay, so he has walked and prayed and he feels as if the time of the destruction of the entire civilization has come. Okay, so he is very much apprehensive, he is very much scared, we may say. He feels as if this storm will end everything. Clear? Or you may say that the turmoil that is there in the country at that time may finish off the country, may finish off the entire civilization. Okay, so this is, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ destruction ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ it is definite, that future has arrived. Okay, so ਡਰਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਇਹਨੂੰ and heard the sea wind scream upon the tower. Okay, so tower is his own place. Okay, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਘਰ ਉਹਦਾ, ਸੋ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹਵਾ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ, it is striking against the tower and it is creating a lot of noise, and under the arches of the bridge, and scream in the elms above the flooded stream. So ਜਿਹੜੇ elm trees ਹੈ, even they are getting disturbed by the storm. Imagining in excited reverie. Clear? So he is so apprehensive, he's so scared that he is having a reverie. Reverie ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੀ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਇੱਕ ਦ੍ਰਿਸ਼ ਦਿਖ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਡੇ ਡ੍ਰੀਮ ਵੀ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ। ਸੋ ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ ਹੈਵਿੰਗ ਅ ਰੈਵਰੀ ਦੈਟ ਐਵਰੀਥਿੰਗ ਇਜ਼ ਬੀਇੰਗ ਡਿਸਟਰੋਇਡ, ਕਿ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਇਮੈਜੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ 'ਚ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਐਜ਼ ਇਫ ਐਵਰੀਥਿੰਗ ਇਜ਼ that the future has come and everything is being destroyed, all the civilization is coming to an end. So this sometimes happens when we are very much scared of what is going around, so then we feel as if everything will be destroyed. So ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਹੁਣ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ। out of the murderous innocence of the sea. Okay, so innocence का मतलब ही क्या होता है, भोलापन। Murderous means killing. So again, though the sea is innocent, yet it has given rise to a very murderous kind of a storm. ये सोनू की लगता है कि हुन तबाही दा समय आ गया। Next passage देखो, may she be granted beauty and yet not beauty to make a stranger's eye distraught. So in his moments of anxiety, he has started praying for his daughter. Clear कि ਹੁਣ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਹੈ, ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਤਬਾਹੀ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਹੈ। So he starts praying for his daughter. So here is the prayer for his daughter. May she be granted beauty and yet not beauty to make a stranger's eye distraught. Okay, so he wants that his daughter should be beautiful. But she should not be exceedingly beautiful that her beauty may distract the eyes of a stranger. She should not be so very beautiful that a man may not even think straight after being enamored of her beauty or after meeting her. कि इन्ने भी नहीं उन्होंने खूबसूरत होना चाहिए कि a person may get distracted and he is unable to think straight after getting attracted towards her beauty. कि इन्ने भी नहीं खूबसूरत उन्होंने होना चाहिए कि किसी दे होश ही भुला देवे। May she be granted beauty and yet not beauty to make a stranger's eye distraught or hers before a looking glass. Yeah, now this is again something very interesting and very beautiful. Yeah, कि एक तो हैगा कि if a person sees a very beautiful girl, then his mind may become obsessed with the beauty of that girl and he is unable to think in a rational manner. Okay? Only this is not so, even the girl herself may become distracted by her own beauty. Okay? कि when she sees herself in a looking glass, then she may become distracted herself. देखो इन्हों हुन कि इन्नी उदी खूबसूरती होनी नहीं चाहिए कि खुद दा भी दिमाग खराब हो जाए या किसी होर दा हो जाए। देखो, may she be granted beauty and yet not beauty to make a stranger's eye distraught or hers before a looking glass. For such being made beautiful over much. For means because the poet knows that the girls who are exceedingly beautiful. For means because such women who are over beautiful, who are over much beautiful, consider beauty a sufficient end. Okay, so when a woman is overly beautiful or when a girl is exceedingly beautiful, then what happens? Then she starts thinking. Then she becomes vain and proud, and she starts thinking that her beauty is sufficient and she need not cultivate any other virtue, any other good quality. कि जे कोई बहुत ज़्यादा सोना है फिर ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਣ ਲੱਗ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਕਿ I do not need to develop any other quality, to cultivate any other quality, any other virtue. देखो इन्होंने for such being made beautiful over much, consider beauty a sufficient end. Sufficient means enough. So they start thinking that their beauty is sufficient. Lose natural kindness. And such people do not have kindness left. They lose the kindness that nature has bestowed them with because of their pride, बिकॉज ऑफ देयर वैनिटी। फिर वो की करते, अब जो उन्होंने अंदर अच्छापन है, दयालूपन है, उन्होंने गवा देंगे। देखो, lose natural kindness and maybe the heart revealing intimacy that chooses right and never find a friend. And they also lose the capacity to be very much intimate with another person. They lose the capacity to be very close to another person. Clear? And because they lose that capability, they are never able to strike a true friendship with anyone. Clear? Because they are unable to uh, reveal their hearts to anyone. Clear? Because of their too much of pride, ego. Clear? They are not able to uh, reveal their hearts to anyone, and as a consequence they never become intimate with anyone, they never become close to anyone, and they are unable to find a true friend. Okay? Because if a person has heart revealing intimacy, then only that person is able to find a true friend. Now, Helen, being chosen, found life flat and dull, and later had much trouble from a fool. So now he comes to a mythical queen, namely Helen of Troy. Okay, so she was the queen of Sparta, Greece, the queen sigi, and she was the wife of Menelaus, Menelaus. Here देखो इन्होंने, Helen being chosen found life flat and dull, and later had much trouble from a fool. So he is referring to the story of Helen, who was the queen of Sparta, and she was the wife of the king Menelaus. Okay? She was the chosen woman. Chosen woman ਦਾ मतलब ਕੀ ਹੈ? She was a very beautiful woman. ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਕਿ God has bestowed her with everything. So similarly, God had bestowed her with extraordinary beauty, intellect. So she was the chosen one. Okay? But she did not settle down to her life as a queen. Okay? So as a consequence, she became attracted to the prince of Troy, whose name was Paris. So she became attracted towards him, and she eloped with him, she ran away with him, and that resulted in a 10-year-old war of Troy. Okay? Because to recover their queen, the people of the army of Sparta, they laid siege to the city of Troy. Clear? This we all know. So ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿ 10 ਸਾਲ ਉਹ ਲੜਾਈ ਚੱਲੀ. Clear? So ਦੇਖੋ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ. So Helen being chosen found life flat and dull, and later had much trouble from a fool. Now fool is the prince of Troy. Troy is the name of a place whose name, the name of the prince was Paris. While that great queen that rose out of the spray, being fatherless, could have her way, yet chose a bandy-legged smith for man. Okay? So then the poet gives example of another woman who was a goddess, a Greek goddess named Venus, Venus, or Aphrodite. Her another name is Aphrodite. She is a goddess. She is the goddess of love and beauty. Aphrodite, Aphdite. Okay, so she was the queen. So she was the goddess of love and beauty, and she was very beautiful. Clear? देखो इन्हों हुन. While that great queen, so इत्थे queen कौन हैगी है? That great goddess that rose out of the spray, and it is believed that she rose out of the sea. ਕਿ ਮੰਨਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਪ੍ਰਕਟ ਹੋਈ ਸੀਗੀ? ਸਮੁੰਦਰ ਚੋਂ ਹੀ, ਮਤਲਬ ਉਹਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜਨਮ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਸਮੁੰਦਰ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ. That rose out of the spray, being fatherless, could have her way because she did not have a father. That is why she could have her way. She could do what she pleased. Clear? And then what she did? So she was so beautiful, yet chose a bandy-legged smith for man. And yet she chose a very inferior god as a husband. Okay? So she chose Hephaestus, who was the ironsmith of gods, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ gods ਦਾ ਲੋਹਾਰ ਸੀਗਾ. ਇਹਨੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਚੁਣਿਆ. Though she was so beautiful, she was so talented that she could have chosen any god, any great god she could have chosen. But because of her waywardness, because she could do what she wanted to do, so because of her foolishness, she chose a very inferior god who was even lame, bandy legged, and she made a wrong choice, and her life was spoiled. So here he has given examples of two very beautiful women who had been bestowed with great beauty, brains, and other talents by God. They had these natural talents and they laid all these talents to waste. They wasted all these talents because of their wrong choices. देखो ना, they were very beautiful. ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇਖੋ, it's certain that fine women eat a crazy salad with their meat, whereby the horn of plenty is undone. Okay, so ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ, it is very much certain, and pakka it is definite that fine women means the extraordinary women who are very beautiful, who are very intelligent, and he thinks that they eat something very crazy, something that makes them act in an irrational manner, okay, with their meat. So when they eat something very strange with their meat, and as a consequence they behave in a very foolish manner, okay, whereby the horn of plenty is undone, whereby all the natural gifts that God has bestowed them with, they all are laid waste. Okay? So ਸਾਰੇ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ, and they spoil their own lives. Clear? Now the horn of plenty, ਦੇਖੋ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ, so here is the horn of plenty. So horn of plenty ਕੀ ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੈ? It is a kind of a mushroom. It is an edible mushroom. Okay? So, and it is symbolic of the great gifts that God, or we may say nature, bestows some people with. Clear? कि जिन्हों ਨੂੰ horn of plenty मिलिया होया, ਦਾ मतलब ਕੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ God ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ extraordinary ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ. Clear? ਪਰ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ women, ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ, they seem to be acting in a very crazy manner, they seem to be acting in a very irrational manner, and as a result, where they could have made their life very beautiful, okay, they make it very, you may say, they make it very unbearable with their own stupidity. They spoil their own lives. ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਅੱਗੇ, in courtesy I would have her chiefly learned. So ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ my daughter should have courtesy and good manners. So main ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਗੁਣ ਹੋਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ ਲੜਕੀ ਦੇ, ਉਹ ਕੀ ਹੋਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ? She should be courteous. Okay? She should be well mannered. She should have manners. In courtesy I would have chiefly learned. I would have her chiefly learned. So chiefly means mainly. So ਉਹਦੇ ਮੁਤਾਬਿਕ main ਗੁਣ daughter 'ਚ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ? She should be very courteous. She should be well mannered. Hearts are not had as a gift, but hearts are earned. Clear? Because if you want to win over a person, if you want to win the heart of someone, then you have to work for that. Because hearts are not had as gifts, but one has to make efforts to win hearts. Hearts are not had as gifts, as a gift, but hearts are earned. कि खुद अपने behavior ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦਿਲਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਤਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ by those that are not entirely beautiful. And generally, the people who win the hearts of others are most of the times not extraordinarily beautiful. Yet many that have played the fool, for beauty's very self has charm made wise. Yet ਨਾਲੇ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ yet many people who have played the fool, who became very foolish after who acted in a very foolish manner after falling in love with an extraordinarily beautiful woman, and acted in a foolish manner, but later on when they met a very kind woman who had charm, it means who had courtesy and good manners, they became those foolish men became wise afterwards after meeting a truly kind and charming woman. Okay, so he's referring to his own self because he also was in love with a very beautiful woman named Maud Gonne. Okay, so she was a very beautiful woman and he fell in love with her, but they never got married because of the very, you may say, the irrational mind of Maud Gonne, because she would behave in a very unpredictable manner. Okay, so and later on Yeats got married to Georgie, so who was a very kind woman. So ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਰੈਫਰ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਦੇਖੋ ਕਿ yet many that have played the fool. So he is referring to his own self because he behaved in a very foolish manner when he proposed, when he remained in love with Maud Gonne. Okay? And later on when he met his own wife, then he learnt that beauty is not everything. Has charm made wise. Clear? And many a poor man that has roved, loved and thought himself beloved, from a glad kindness cannot take his eyes. And many a poor man, again he is referring to his own experiences, that he that has roved. It means they traveled far and wide, and they wandered here and there because they were in love with a very beautiful woman, loved and thought himself beloved. So for some time they thought that they were loved equally by that beautiful woman, but they were mistaken, and when they fell in love with a kind woman who might not have been so beautiful, then they learnt what true beauty was, and then they could not take their eyes away from their kind wives who may not be so beautiful. Okay, so फिर वो इत्थे अपनी गल करदा पिया देखो next passage. May she become a flourishing hidden tree that all her thoughts may like the linnet be. Okay, so I think so. Shall we? So let us finish this. May she become a flourishing hidden tree that all her thoughts may like the linnet be. Clear? So he wants that the daughter should become a flourishing hidden tree. Clear? A very beautiful rooted tree. Clear? Hidden. Clear? She should not make a show off of anything. That all her thoughts may like the linnet be. Okay, so all her thoughts should be very sweet, clear, and just as a linnet keeps on spreading its beautiful music around, just as a linnet keeps on chirping, it keeps on spreading its sweet sounds around. In the same way, the thoughts of the daughter should be like the sweet sounds of the linnet. The thoughts should be as sweet as the sweet sounds that are emitted by the linnet. देखो इन्हों हुन, may she become a flourishing may she become a flourishing hidden tree, that all her thoughts may like the linnet be, and have no business but dispensing round their magnanimities of sound. So, just as a linnet keeps on spreading its sweet sounds around, in the same way, the daughter should also keep on spreading. Her only work should be to spread kindness and sweet thoughts around. ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਪੰਛੀ ਗੀਤ ਗਾਉਂਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ, ਉਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਥਾਟਸ ਹੈ, she should only spread those around. Nor but in merriment begin a chase, nor but in merriment a quarrel. ਕਲੀਅਰ? ਸੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਰਡਸ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੈ, ਤਾਂ ਬਰਡਸ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਿੱਛਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈ, ਕਲੀਅਰ, ਫਿਰ ਲੜਦੇ ਹੈ, ਬਟ ਦੋਜ਼ ਕੁਅਰਲਸ ਆਰ ਨਾਟ ਸੀਰੀਅਸ ਐਟ ਆਲ. ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਛੋਟੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਪੰਛੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਦੇਖੇ ਹੋਣੇ, ਦੇ ਕੀਪ ਔਨ ਚੇਜ਼ਿੰਗ ਈਚ ਅਦਰ, ਦੇ ਕੀਪ ਔਨ ਕੁਅਰਲਿੰਗ, ਐਂਡ ਦ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਮੋਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਅਗੇਨ become friends. Clear? Because whatever they do, that is done just in jest. Clear? They are just playing around. Clear? So he ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਿਆ ਕਿ nor but in merriment begin a chase, nor but in merriment a quarrel. Clear? So ਖੇਲ ਖੇਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਲੜਾਈ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਪੰਛੀ ਲੜਦੇ ਹੈ ਖੇਡਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਉੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ nor but means except. Clear? So ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਝਗੜਾ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਤਾਂ ਇਟ ਸ਼ੁੱਡ ਬੀ ਇਨ ਮੈਰੀਮੈਂਟ ਓਨਲੀ, ਮਜ਼ਾਕ ਮਜ਼ਾਕ ਵਿੱਚ. ਉਹ ਮੇ ਸ਼ੀ ਲਿਵ ਲਾਈਕ ਸਮ ਗ੍ਰੀਨ ਲਾਰਲ rooted in one dear perpetual place. So she should be like a green laurel that remains rooted in one perpetual place. Clear? Okay. Laurel tree is again symbolic of knowledge, art and wisdom. Okay. So she should be just as a laurel tree is something very solid, and it symbolizes knowledge, art, wisdom. In the same way, she should also be like that laurel tree that is an evergreen tree. My mind, because the minds that I have loved, the sort of beauty that I have approved. ਦੇਖੋ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦੀ, my mind, because the minds that I have loved, the sort of beauty that I have approved, prosper but little, has dried up of late. Clear? So ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ because of my mind, because of the minds that I have loved. Again he is referring to his love for Maud Gonne. Okay? He pursued Maud Gonne for a long time, but she did not consent to a marriage between them, and then he got married to Georgie, his wife. So ਇੱਥੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਰੈਫਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਪਿਆ. ਦੇਖੋ, my mind, because the minds that I have loved, the sort of beauty that I have approved, prosper but little. मेरा दिमाग, क्योंकि because of the minds that I have loved, referring to Maud Gonne. Okay, because of the beauty that I have loved, so my mind has not prospered. It has rather dried up. Of late means recently. Yet knows that to be choked with hate may well be of all evil chances chief. Chief means main. Okay? Though my mind does not work very well, because of the minds that I have loved, because of the energy that I have squandered away, that because of the energy that I have frittered away in following a woman who did not return my love. Because that is why my mind does not work well. But still I know that to be choked with hate may well be of all evil chances chief. That the main misfortune may be टू बी चोक्ड विद हेट। सब तो वड्डी बदकिस्मती किसी वास्ते की हो सकती है इफ वन हैज़ हेट्रड इन हिज ओन सेल्फ, इफ वन हैज़ हेट्रड इन हिज माइंड। सब तो वड्डी, दैट इज़ द मेन मिसफॉर्चून दैट वन मे हैव। If there is no hatred in a mind, a salt and battery of the wind can never tear the linnet from the leaf. And if there is no hatred in a mind, then a salt and battery of the wind. A salt and battery of the wind ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਤੇਜ਼ ਹਵਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਵਿਗਾੜ ਸਕਦੀ if you are at peace from within. Clear? If you do not have any kind of hatred in your mind, then no adverse circumstances, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਜਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਤੂਫਾਨ ਆਂਦੀਆਂ ਆ ਜਾਣ, clear, can never tear the linnet from the leaf, just as a bird will remain firmly on the leaf, firmly on the branch that it is sitting on, if it does not have hatred in its mind. In the same way, a person who is free from any kind of hatred will be able to face all the adverse circumstances in his or her life. Clear? So ਇੱਥੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਉਹ ਲੜਕੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ। ਦੇਖੋ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ, an intellectual hatred is the worst. Okay, so ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ hatred is something very bad. Hatred is having hatred in your being, having hatred in your mind is one of the worst misfortunes that you may have. कि जे तुहाडे अंदर किसी वास्ते नफरत हैगी है तो फिर की है, वो सब तो वड्डी बदकिस्मती है। And intellectual hatred is the worst, and the worst hatred is the hatred based on ideology. Clear? कि intellectual hatred की है कि एक तो होंदी ना emotional hatred. For example, that person has done you wrong, he has wronged you in some way or the other, and you hate that person. Okay? But what is intellectual hatred? That you do not know that person, or you do not particularly know that community, you may say, or that nation, you may say, but you hate it because of your fixed ideas. So that is the intellectual hatred. Clear? Ki otherwise you don't know the person, but you hate that person because of your fixed ideas that you have regarding his nationality, regarding his country, or whatsoever. So an intellectual hatred is the worst. So ना ऐसा ही समझो कि ideology जड़ी हुंदी है कि we have to hate these people. Okay? So that is the worst kind of hatred. So let her think opinions are accursed. So daughter ਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਕੀ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ? She should know that having fixed opinions are accursed. Having fixed opinions is something that is like a curse. If you have fixed opinions regarding anything, regarding any nation, regarding anything, regarding your way of life, if you cannot change your opinions, then that is a curse. Clear? क्योंकि वो ideology ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ change ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ। Have I not seen the loveliest woman born out of the mouth of plenty's horn? Again he is referring to Maud Gonne. ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਖੁਦ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ। So I know a woman who is the loveliest woman on this earth because God had gifted her with extraordinary beauty, intellect. Okay? It seems as if she was born out of the mouth of horn of plenty. Clear? कि जिद्दां ਉਹਨੂੰ सब कुछ ही मिलिया सीगा। Because of her opinionated mind, barter that horn and every good by quiet natures understood for an old bellows full of angry wind. So ਉਹਨੇ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ, ਉਹਨੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ she could have made her life very beautiful. Clear? But what did she do? She gave away that horn of plenty. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ horn of plenty ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਸੁੱਟ ਦਿੱਤਾ। ਕਿਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ? For a worthless man named John McBride. Clear? ਹੁਣ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਦੇਖੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ Maud Gonne ਸੀਗੀ, she was also a freedom fighter. Clear? And she fell in love with this Major John McBride, whom Yeats did not like at all. He did not approve of this man at all. He was a very uncouth kind of a person. He was a very, you may say, ill mannered kind of a person. Okay, so now this beautiful woman, because of her opinionated mind, because of her strong opinions, because of her fixed opinions, she got married to this old bellows full of angry wind. ਕਲੀਅਰ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸੀ ਯੇਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਇੰਨੇ ਬੇਕਾਰ ਜਿਹੇ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹਨੇ ਸ਼ਾਦੀ ਕਰ ਲਈ ਕਿ ਸੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਮਾਈਂਡ 'ਚ ਰੱਖੋ ਕਿ ਮੌਡ ਗੌਨ ਫੌਟ ਫॉर द freedom of Ireland, and naturally she was attracted towards a person who was a fellow freedom fighter. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜੌਨ ਮੈਕਬ੍ਰਾਈਡ ਵੀ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੀ ਲੜਾਈ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਲੜ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਸੋ ਬਟ ਯੇਟਸ ਡਿਡ ਨਾਟ approve of this marriage at all, because according to him John McBride was a very useless fellow, and his maybe his opinion was, it proved to be right after all, because soon after they got married they did not pull along well, and they got separated after some time. ਕਿ ਉਹਦੀ ਸ਼ਾਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਟਿੱਕੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ. ਸੋ ਯੇਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ this woman was she had everything that any woman could ask for. उन्होंने की किया इन्हें अपनी she threw away those gifts in exchange of a useless fellow named John McBride. सो कहता कि मैं तो खुद देखा है कि because when one nurtures intellectual hatred, then one becomes opinionated, one becomes one starts having fixed opinions, clear, and then one behaves in a very foolish manner, clear, irrational manner. ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ fixed opinions ਆ ਜਾਣਗੇ clear, ਫਿਰ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਫਿਰ you behave in a very stupid manner, just as Maud Gonne behaved. Considering that all hatred driven hence, the soul recovers radical innocence and learns at last that it is self-delighting, self-appeasing, self-affrighting, and that its own sweet will is heaven's will. Clear? So फिर उस तो बाद वो की कहता है कि when hatred is driven out of mind, clear, कि ਜਦੋਂ when you get your mind free of any kind of hatred, clear, then what happens, clear, कि अपनी daughter वास्ते हर चीज़ मांग रहा है ना, that she should be free of any kind of hatred. और सब तो ज़्यादा माड़ी तक केड़ी हैगी है ideological hatred, intellectual hatred, hatred that is based on your ideas, ideology. Okay, so फिर वो की कहता है, considering that all hatred driven hence, the soul recovers radical innocence. Okay, so when you drive out all kind of hatred from yourself, then your soul, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਤਮਾ ਹੈਗੀ, it recovers its original innocence and learns at last that it is self-delighting, self-appeasing, self-affrighting. ਫਿਰ soul ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ that it need not seek any outside source of happiness. It is self-delighting, ਕਿ ਆਪਣੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਹੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਦਾ ਸਰੋਤ ਹੈ. Self-appeasing, self-satisfying, one need not look for satisfaction outside, it is within you. Self-affrighting, again soul is self-affrighting. Self-affrighting means it can correct its own self. ਕਲੀਅਰ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਾਹਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਗਾਈਡੈਂਸ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਂਦੀ. ਕਲੀਅਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਹੇਟਰਡ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ 'ਚੋਂ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ, ਫਿਰ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਣ ਲੱਗ ਪੈਂਦੀਆਂ, ਦੈਟ ਯੂ ਆਰ sufficient in your own self. You are self-sufficient, you are self-delighting, self-appeasing, self-affrighting, and that its own sweet will is heaven's will. And the soul comes to know that whatever it decides to do is the right thing. It is the right thing, and your own will becomes one and the same thing. Okay? What is your will is also God's will. मतलब सही गल हैगी है. She can, though every face should scowl and every windy quarter howl, or every bellows burst, be happy still. And then if the daughter has no hatred in her mind, and she does not have any fixed opinions, and she is kind at heart, then she will not be disturbed even if people around her are angry, if they are scowling, if they have angry expressions on their faces, then also she will not be perturbed, she will not be disturbed, she will be happy in all circumstances. Now, last para. And may her bridegroom bring her to a house where all is accustomed, ceremonious, clear. And this is again his last uh, wish in the poem for his daughter. और वो की हैगी है कि when she gets married, she should get married into a very traditional family ਜਿਹੜੀ कि पूरी रवायतां निभांदी है, a family that is rooted in the culture, in art and culture of the country. And may her bridegroom, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹਦਾ husband ਹੈ, दूल्हा है, bring her to a house, ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਘਰ 'ਚ where all is accustomed and ceremonious, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਕੀ ਹੈਗਾ, where all is accustomed, where customs are followed and where ceremonies are followed. For arrogance and hatred are the wares peddled in the thoroughfares. Thoroughfares ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ, ਆਮ ਰਸਤੇ, ਜਿਨ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ arrogance and hatred, ਕਿ hatred for others and excessive pride in your own self are the things that are found in common people, that are found in ordinary people. So how but in custom and in ceremony are innocence and beauty born. So according to him, innocence and beauty are found only where only in those families where cultural and traditional values are honored and observed. Okay, so arrogance and hatred do not suit gentle and innocent people. Okay. Ceremony is named for the rich horn and custom for the spreading laurel tree. So ceremony is another name for the God gifted talents, for the God for the gifts that God has bestowed upon you, beauty, kindness, intelligence. And custom is another name for the spreading laurel tree. So it is a beautiful poem, and now I hope it is clear to all of you, and now I make an end here. So it has been a long lecture, but I hope